23-year-old Sandile Shezi rise as a South African foreign currency investor and the country's newest and youngest millionaire. He founded the Global Forex Institute with the aim of recognizing and mentoring notable young talent for the world of business, as well as teaching the skills needed to tackle the international stock market. He's joining me in the studio to share his extensive knowledge on how one can make it in the largest financial market in the world, which is global forex trader. Sandile, welcome to you. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Stevie, and thank you for having me on your show.
What's it like being successful at 23? Very few people are successful at 23.
Yeah, it actually depends on how you define success. Looking at where I started, I actually thought by the time I reached this point, I'd actually think that I've made it. But now that I'm here, only do I realize that there's still a long road ahead. There's still quite a number of achievements one is hoping to achieve and different goals and so on.
Who are some of the people you looked up to or have looked up to over the years?
There's quite a number of guys that have inspired me. People such as your Colin Mashawana, a great successful businessman. People such as your Sandile Zungus, your Patrice Motsepas, and so on. Yeah.
So those people have inspired you?
Definitely. Looking at where they come from and where they are today, it has truly made me realize that anything is possible.
Tell me, when did your interest in trading start?
It basically started off while I was still in school. At that time, little was I aware about the currency market, but at that time, the only thing that one knew is that most successful guys are basically shareholders of different companies, and that's where basically the curiosity came about as to how does one purchase a share in a company, and basically that's how I got introduced to the stock market, of which I later on moved on to the currency market, which is what we call forex.
Did you join a company as a trader?
For me, it started off very sort of as a casual thing, in terms of downloading books, purchasing books, just getting advice over the internet, watching videos and so on, of which only at a later stage did I actually start approaching guys to seek some assistance and obviously some mentorship.
All right, so you are self-taught, in other words?
Self-taught with a bit of mentorship within it, yeah. But there's no particular institution that I actually went into to basically, yeah.
Speaking to Sandile Shezi, co-owner and founder of the Global Forex Institute. Okay, so you told us where your interest in trading came from.
Yeah.
What was your next step? Because there seems to be a hell of a leap from just being interested in it to actually opening up your own operation.
Your own company.
What were you doing in the interim?
It was basically training myself, right, and obviously trying to equip one's with as much knowledge as possible. And for me, I normally say that I'm more than just a trader, but I'm an entrepreneur. So as one was trading and growing as a trader, I obviously identified a gap in the market, that there's a lot of people, brokers have made trading so accessible to everyone. I mean, any average individual can go on the internet and open a trading account, but there's not a lot of places where people can actually seek the knowledge of how do they go about obviously trading the financial markets.
The Global Forex Institute.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
That basically came about when we identified that gap, that, I personally struggled in terms of getting the right kind of knowledge. So it was a matter of getting a bit of advice from here and there, and which is why I say to myself, if one could establish a platform where people can come together, not only learn but also trade together. Hence, we don't just do trainings, we also do mentorships. We also looking into opening basically trading floors where people, instead of trading at home in different places, they can actually come to our offices and basically trade on our trading floors.
Now, this is a question I'm not sure you're going to be happy about asking, but I've got to ask it. How does it feel like being a millionaire at 23? Is it quite daunting?
It's not the easiest of questions, but I mean, for me, when you say the word millionaire, it sounds like a huge thing, but quite frankly, once you reach that point, you only realize that there's no particular sort of how could I put this? Once you get to that level, it's not like so many things change. You know, for me, not much has changed from where I was and where I am today. It's just a matter of obviously trying to grow every day and better oneself.
Now, the money you have made, would you say it's from teaching, or would you say it's from trading?
I would say it's a combination of both.
Right.
It's definitely, I'd be lying if I was to say it's just trading. But it's a combination of both, because the company does focus on both, the trading side as well as obviously the training side.
Amazing. I'm just sitting and watching. I was trying to think where I was when I was 24. I was studying the BCom, actually. I was at Wits studying for my BCom.
BCom accounting.
Yeah, BCom accounting.
Okay.
And I was a stockbroker for 15 years.
All right.
At the JSD, yeah.
All right. No,
yeah, so
that's
I know the world of trading. What do you actually do now at the Global Forex Institute? What is your
day-to-day
look like?
It's a bit chaotic. It's a bit chaotic in a sense that I used to have a proper structure that, you know, I wake up in the morning, I look at the markets. Before I even take a shower and get dressed, I wake up, look at the markets, obviously start preparing for the day, get into the office, look at some trades, whatever trades we can take, and obviously we have to also assist clients. Clients will be sending us requests, asking us what do we think about this trade and so on, you know, and obviously preparing for things like trainings as well as mentorships. But these days it's a bit crazy, because if I look at what happened this week, you know, one has been moving all over the show.
Tell me about it. I got caught the wrong way. Looking a bit better. I've salvaged some of the losses, but sure, that 3% on Tuesday. Wow, that came from nowhere. It's hectic stuff. The forex market trades unlike stock markets,
24 hours,
24 hours a day. And it's a $1 trillion business, isn't it?
Definitely.
I mean, it's much bigger.
Definitely
than
$1 trillion. And I mean, if you look at the growth in terms of numbers, where it was last year, and where it is today, it definitely gives you an idea that in no time we will be sitting at around. It should be around $6 trillion market.
6 trillion.
Yeah.
That's per day.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Wow.
It shows you how many people are basically joining this industry.
Speaking to Sandile Shezi, co-owner and founder of the Global Forex Institute, here in the studio with us. Now, what I wanted to ask you, do you take students?
Yeah.
Do you mentor? So somebody comes off the street and they want to learn? Do you do that type of thing?
Definitely. Because what people need to understand is that for us as a company, Global Forex Institute, we I don't want people to sort of mistaken us as a university. You know, it's not like going to Wits and getting a BCom. For us, it's basically sort of giving you more of the practical training side, in a sense that you're not going to walk out in Global Forex with a particular degree or so on. It's a matter of basically showing you what we do and how we do it. And obviously, if you're interested, you can follow in the footsteps of what we do.
What do you charge?
At the moment, our course goes for 12,000. Right. But every now and again, we sort of get corporate companies to sort of sponsor students, of which some people have been basically taking up our training for half price, and some even for free.
What would you charge my listeners? That's the question. Could you give a discount? Could I organize a discount for my listeners? Could we talk about it at least?
We can definitely negotiate,
okay.
but look at it this way, Steve. What I normally advise people is that because a lot of people have no clue as to what goes on in the markets.
Exactly.
So I don't advise people to just basically come for our full training and pay that amount, because you won't even know what you're paying for.
Yes.
And hence, as a company, what we do is we go around doing free beginners classes where you don't pay a cent. You can just basically, it's like a 3-hour induction session whereby we teach you all the necessary basics of what we do and how we go about doing it. And obviously, based on the information that you will gather at the free beginners classes, then you can only make a decision whether you feel this is something you could personally do or this is not for me.
Good evening, Mr. Stevie. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for bringing this wonderful guest, Mr. Sandile Shezi. How are you as well, Mr. Hello?
I'm alright, Sizwenye.
I'm good. Mr. Sandile, I just want to ask a quick question here. Firstly, I am inspired. And with the Business Institute, the one that you're running, are you offering a local training or both local and foreign training? Hello?
I'm struggling to hear you clearly, Caesar.
He asked you, are you offering foreign trading or local trading? I'm not really sure what you mean there, Caesar.
As in, are we only focused in forex, or do we also do stocks? If I'm not mistaken, is that the question?
Yes, that's the question, sir.
Oh, okay. Basically, Caesar, I used to personally trade stocks, but as a company, as you know, the name is Global Forex Institute. So we basically purely focused on the forex market. So our training is based on forex only.
How does forex actually work?
Basically, as you may know, that forex is basically the foreign exchange market.
Yeah.
So to just simplify it in very simple words, it's basically buying and selling different currencies.
Right.
So what we do as currency traders is basically buying a currency while it's cheap, and obviously sell it when it's expensive. Hence, we say you buy it low and you sell it high.
Yeah, like stocks. Eh?
Yeah, pretty much similar to stocks.
Mzwandile is on the line from Springs. Mzwandile, good afternoon to you.
Hi, good evening, gentlemen.
All right, our guest is waiting for your question.
Yes, I'd like to find out how long does the course take, and I heard about the fees. I just want to know how long does it take. Yeah, just about that.
All right. Thanks for the question, Zwandile. The course, we basically, as a company, we give you a course that runs over a month. After that, obviously, that's just to cover the basics. Thereafter, we offer you mentorship that runs over for, our mentorship is basically for life. In other words, we say that for as long as you still need assistance after the training, you can just keep coming weekly for our mentorship sessions. So basically, you will determine based on how quickly you understand what we are teaching you, that will determine how long the actual training takes.
Hi there. Just a quick one, man. I wanted to know, what was your starting capital when you began with forex?
When I started off, I remember my first account, it was 5,000 rand.
Right. Wow.
Of which
Wow.
I definitely blew it over within about
don't
2
worry,
weeks.
so did I when I started trading. I blew
But
everything.
thereafter, I've been funding quite a number of accounts.
What currencies do you trade? Any or all of them?
Not necessarily all of them. I try and stick to the major currencies most of the time, which is basically your
Dollar,
USDs, your pounds, US dollars, your US dollar, Japanese yen, and so on.
Do you trade the rand?
Funny enough, I do trade the rand. Purely based on the fact that it's our own currency in the country. I feel as though one understands the fundamentals much better with the rand, based on the fact that we're living in this country.
Your volatility, huge, eh?
It's been crazy.
It's scary.
It's been crazy.
It's scary. Can't breathe. Is it risky?
It is.
Must be.
There is. I mean, looking at how volatile it is, the markets are. It is a bit more, I could say, riskier than trading stocks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, remember, the more volatile it is, the more chances of us actually making money. But at the same time, as risky as it is, one needs to also understand that it's a calculated risk. You know, it's not a matter of just taking whatever capital you have and throwing it into the markets, because traders out there will know that when one takes any position, maximum risk one should be taking is nothing more than 1% of what you have in your account.
You're young. Are most traders young?
Funny enough, if you look at how the industry was 10 years ago, it was more dominated by the older guys. But as time has progressed, I see more and more young people trading, and ever since I got into the industry, a lot of young people have been inspired by what I do, and I'm pretty sure over the next couple of years there's going to be more and more young traders entering the industry.
That's quite right, because when I was trading on the JC, there were a lot of older guys. In fact, there were really old guys trading in those days, and they weren't that. There were old stockbrokers, but there were young dealers. Actual traders were young, but the actual stockbrokers were not young. They had been there many years. I heard people complaining about trading forex through a broker. Apparently, brokers get you to place all your assets as secured against money they lend you, your home, etc. Then they get you involved and let you think you can make money, and then suddenly they make you lose everything, including your assets of which they hold. Is this true?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. You say not at all. Okay, let me ask you another question. How's this for a complaint? Guy got involved in a forex company of overseas, very dangerous.
Okay.
They told him he made money on his first trade, second trade.
Yeah.
Okay. They then said they're holding the money for him. They're holding that money, but they needed more money for the next trade. The bottom line is, when he asked to withdraw his funds, they were gone. That happens, eh?
Yeah. The brokerage side, it's a very critical side. It's the critical aspect of our industry, which is why I normally say to our clients that there are brokerage firms that we can personally recommend as a company, but at the same time, we cannot force our clients to sign up with a particular broker. If you're comfortable with a certain brokerage firm, that's perfectly fine. However, we will provide you with the training, and in terms of you opening a portfolio with a broker, that is up to you. But we will obviously advise you as to which one is better and which one we trust, because you need to bear in mind that there's quite a number of fly-by-night brokerage firms out there, which is why we always state that whichever brokerage firm we work with, we need to make sure it's a regulated broker, and obviously it also has an FSB license.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for being. I'm not disappointed. I think it was a great show. We could have gone for another hour, but listen, we're going to keep in touch. My listeners are passionate about trading, and we're going to stay with you. We're not going to look anywhere else. So get those emails into me, forex, Stevie B at kayafm.co.za, and just thank you for being our guest tonight, and I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again pretty soon. Okay. Thank you for having me, Stevie. And before I go, our listeners can also follow me on my Instagram, which is Sandile_GFI_Shezi. They can also follow us on Facebook, Sandile GFI Shezi, for more updates.